Hello students, I'm Shweta, your English teacher, and I am back with the tenses. So the type of tense that we are going to study today is the future tense. In the previous videos, we studied about the present and the past form of the tenses. The tense that we are going to study today is the future tense. What is future tense? What are its various forms? What is the usage of the tenses? What are the rules to be kept in mind while framing the tenses? And what are the different structures of these tenses? So these are all the things that we are going to discuss in this video. So stay with me in order to learn all the structures and the usage of future tenses. So let's begin with the video and start with our first form of tense, that is the simple future tense. Okay, what is the simple future tense? What is simple future tense? What is its structure? Where do we use the simple future tense? If we talk about the structure, then I always told you how to keep the structures in mind for a longer period is just take the help of the keywords. That is, whenever the word future comes before your eyes, the thing that you have to recognize is that whenever you come across the word future, this means that definitely, certainly, you will be finding the words will or shall. Whenever you come across the word future, जैसे ही future word आपके सामने आएगा, the thing that should stuck to your mind is the will and shall. Means you will definitely be having will or shall in the sentence according to the given subject. If we talk about the structure of simple future tense, then you have the subject plus will and shall, then your verbs first form, and then your object. So this is the simple structure of simple future tense. Let us understand it with the help of some examples, plus where should we use the simple future tense. Okay, if we talk about the usage of the simple future tense, then first of all, it is used to express an action that would take place in future, which cannot be controlled. So any action that would take place in a period in the future, which is not under our control, in those sentences we use the simple future tense. Like Rama will be 25 next month. So in the next month, in the coming next month, Rama will be of 25 years. Rama, she will be of 25 years. So this is going to happen in a period in the future. So an action that is going to happen in a period in the future, in those actions we use the simple future tense. And as I told you, the structure, as I told you ample of times, I told you that grammar is all about observation. You have to observe the sentence and bifurcate the sentence according to the speeches. Say for Rama, what is Rama? Rama is the subject of the sentence. Because it is a future tense, so in future what you will be using? Will. Then v1 form, be is the v1 form, it is the first form of the verb be, and then your object. So this is the simple structure of simple future tense, that is, you have the subject, then will and shall, and first form of the verb. And the first usage is this: we use the simple future tense to express the action that would take place in a period in the future. Coming to the next usage. So the next usage, to express the predictions, doubts, or conditions. Say for, perhaps my brother will come tomorrow. So when you're using the word perhaps my brother will come tomorrow, this is a prediction you are making. This is a prediction, or there's a condition. There could be a condition or doubt. Means you are not 100% sure. There is some sort of some percentage of doubt. So whenever any predictions you make, there you can use the simple future tense, or even you can use the modals like may. Like it may rain tomorrow, it may rain tomorrow. You are making predictions based on the weather conditions, so it may rain tomorrow. So may is the modal we are using here, showing the doubt or the prediction that it might rain tomorrow, it may rain tomorrow, there are chances that it may rain tomorrow. Okay, so perhaps my brother will come tomorrow. So perhaps here is telling that that there is prediction that my brother will come tomorrow. So here again we are using the simple future tense whenever you are predicting the future, whenever you are making predictions for the future. So there also you'll be using the simple future tense. Again, if we look at the structure of the sentence, then we have the subject, my brother, will according to the simple future tense, and come, that is the first form of the verb. So this is the structure of simple future tense, that is the subject, will, shall plus first form of the verb. Coming to the third usage, that is to express the formal announcements of future. If in future you are making some of the announcements, then for those announcements you use the simple future tense. For example, the minister will attend the inaugural function of the new school. So this is an announcement you are making, the announcement for the function that is going to be held in a period in the future. So the formal announcements that you are going to make for the future, there also you use the simple future tense. If we look at the structure of the sentence, then again we have the subject, the minister will, because it is a future tense, then attend, that is the first form of the verb. So this is the structure of the simple future tense, that is you have the subject, will, shall plus first form of the verb. Like if you want to make any formal announcements, like the school will remain closed on the account of COVID pandemic that is spreading in the city. This is a formal announcement that you are making, that the school will remain closed for a period in the future due to the pandemic that is spreading in the city. So in such announcements, we again use the simple future tense. I hope all these three statements and the reasons of using the simple future tense are clear to you all. Moving further, then there's an important note I'm sharing with you all, that is the future time. It is not necessary that every time you will be using the word will or shall to express the future time. As I told you earlier, that you can use certain modals also, like may. It may rain tomorrow. So this may is again showing the period in the future. Ki ho sakta hai, prediction based. Similarly, there are more verbs which can be used to show, to express the future time. Like we can use the going to form. हम गोइंग टू फॉर्म को भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं टू एक्सप्रेस द फ्यूचर एक्सप्रेशंस विच आर ऑलरेडी डिसाइडेड और विच आर सर्टेन टू हैपन. लाइक द स्टूडेंट्स आर गोइंग टू इन्वाइट द प्रिंसिपल फॉर द पार्टी. So the students are going, still they still have not gone, so they are going to invite the principal for the party. So this is something that is going to be happen in future. They will go and invite the principal for the party. Then in second, about to. About to is another word that you can use for the immediate future actions, like I am about to finish my work. Means I have not finished it yet. I have not finished it yet. I am about to finish my work. Means a period in the future. I'll finish my work now, but now I have not finished it. So these are certain verbs that we can use to express the future and to express the future time. Okay, the next tense of future, next type of future tense is future continuous. So future continuous, as the name indicates, this means an action, an event that is going to be continued in a period in the future. Those actions are said to be in future continuous tense. Means any work that will continue in a period in the future. For those actions we use future continuous tense. If we talk about the structure of future continuous tense, then I told you that take the help of the keywords. You know, there is a word future. There is a word. Wait, let me change the color. So there is a word. There is a word future, and whenever we come across the word future, we know that the sentence will be having the words like will and shall. And whenever we come across the word continuous, this means the verb will be in its ing form. Verb jo hogi wo ing form mein hogi. Continuous means verbs ing form will be there, and future means will shall would be there. Okay, so with the help of these things we can form the structure of future continuous tense. That is, you will be having the subject, very obvious, you will be having the subject of the sentence. Then because it is a future tense, then we'll be using will, shall. Then we'll be using will, shall plus, along with will, shall, because these are modals. So modals always carry a first form of the verb. So we will be having the first form of the verb, that is be. First form of the verb be. And because it has a term continuous in it, इसमें continuous है, this means ing form, main verb will be in ing form. Main verb will be in ing form and then your object. So this is the simplest way you can adopt for forming the structure of the tense. That is, because it is future continuous, you'll be having a subject. Because it is future, then you'll be using will shall are the modals, and modals always take first form of the verb. So the first form of the verb is be, and it is a continuous tense. So continuous means there would be the main verb will be in its ing form. So v1 plus ing and then your object. So this is the way you can learn the structures or retain the structures for a longer period. So let's understand it with some of the examples, and plus the usage of future continuous, where we would be using future continuous tense and how we have to use the future continuous, make the correct usage of the future continuous in our sentences. So if we talk about the usage of the future continuous tense, then future continuous tense is used to express a continuous action in future time. Means any action that will continue for a period in the future, there we use the future continuous tense. Means any action that will continue for a period in the future. In future time, it will continue for a period. So for those actions, we use the future continuous tense. Taking some examples, like I will be writing to Mr. Prashant about my plans. So yet I have not written yet any thing about my plans to Mr. Prashant, but in a coming period I will be writing to Mr. Prashant. Means जब एक period आएगा in future, I'll be writing to Mr. Prashant about my plans. So this is a task, this is an action that is going to be completed in future. It will continue for a period in the future. If we look at the structure of the tense, then we have the subject I. I is your subject because it is future tense. It is a sentence of future tense, so will, and will always it is a modal. So there will be the first form of the verb, that is be, and it is a continuous tense. Because it is a continuous tense, that means the main verb will be in its ing form. So I will be writing to Mr. Prashant about my plans. So I hope till now simple future and future continuous tense, what is the usage of future simple future and future continuous tense, plus how to form the structure of these tenses has become clear to you all. No need to cram the things, just take the help of the keywords and it will become a piece of cake for you all to remember the structures for a longer period. And next comes the future perfect tense. Now, future perfect tense. Where do we use future perfect tense? What is the structure of future perfect tense? Firstly, let us frame the structure of future perfect tense. Okay, because it is future. We are talking about the future. This means, yes, very good, will, shall. We'll be having will and shall. Then the word perfect. And whenever we come across the word perfect, what stuck to our mind is has, have, and had. But it is of future tense, so we'll be having will, have, or shall have. So we'll be having have with us. You'll have a subject, will, shall, according to the future. Then because it is perfect tense, so we'll have, and one more thing, whenever we use has and have, we'll always have the third form of the verb. So we'll be having third form of the verb and then your object. So it is as simple as that. So the structure is, you have subject followed by will, shall, have, third form of the verb, and your object. Now let us understand the usage of future perfect tense, and let us see the various examples how we can make the correct usage of the future perfect tense into the sentences. Okay, future perfect tense. So future perfect tense is used to express those actions which would be completed before a certain time in future. So future perfect tense, we use this tense in the sentences where the action will be completed in a period in the future before the completion of that period. Let us understand it with the help of example. Fahid will have read this book by the next week. means on the end of the next week, he will have read this book. Means जैसे ही next week, next हफ्ता खत्म हो जाएगा, है ना, by the completion of the next week, Fahid will have read this book. So this book will be completed in a period in the future when by the end of the next week. जब ये next week खत्म हो जाएगा तो उसकी जो है book भी खत्म हो जाएगी. So this action will be completed in a period in the future when that period will be completed. जब वो period खत्म हो जाएगा. Like I will have completed 5 years. I will have completed 5 years in teaching field by the next month. So I will have completed 5 years in the field of teaching by next month. जैसे ही अगला महीना आएगा मुझे पढ़ाते पढ़ाते 5 साल हो जाएंगे. So this is how we make the use of the future perfect tense. Again, looking at the structure of the tense, we have the subject. Because it is a future tense, we will obviously be having will. Then it is a perfect tense. Perfect tense means you have, and have is followed by the third form of the verb, that is read. And then your object. So I hope this is clear to you all. Where do we use the future perfect tense? We use the future perfect tense in the sentences where an action would be completed in a period in the future, on the completion of that period. जब वो given period खत्म हो जाएगा तो वो हमारा action खत्म होगा. Like I will have completed 5 years in the field of teaching by the end of the next month. जैसे ही अगला महीना आएगा तो मुझे भी कितने साल हो जाएंगे? 5 साल हो जाएंगे. So I hope future perfect tense, the usage of future perfect tense plus its structure is understood by you all. Coming to the last tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. Now comes the future perfect continuous tense. So future perfect continuous tense, where we use a future perfect continuous tense, and what will be the structure of future perfect continuous tense. What I expect is that the way that I told you to recognize the structure of the tenses, I know this time you'll be able to form the structure of this tense. So let's do it together. Because it is a future tense, so what we will be having? We'll be having will and shall. Because it is perfect tense, we will be having have. And after have, we always have the third form of the verb, and been is the third form of the verb, been. But we have another word, continuous. This means the main verb will be in the ing form, and then the object. And the most important thing that I told you earlier also, that in tenses, perfect continuous tenses, whether it's past perfect continuous, it's present perfect continuous, or future perfect continuous, will be using since and for. The usage of which I told you in video first. So for the usage of since and for, do watch the part 1 of tenses. In that I thoroughly explain how to use the since and for, and then followed by time. So this is the structure of future perfect continuous. So very easy to formulate. You have the subject, will, shall, plus have, been, ing form of the verb, object, since, for, and the time. Now let us understand it with the help of some examples, plus study their usage, where to use the future perfect continuous. Okay, future perfect continuous tense. The future perfect continuous tense is used to express those actions that continue through a given period of time in future. Now, where do we use the future perfect continuous tense? Here I want to make a comparative study between the future, present, and past perfect continuous tense. Say for he, if we make the comparative study between the three types of perfect continuous tense, so like I will have been, I will have been completing 7 years. I will have been completing 7 years in Delhi by the next month. I will have been completing 10 years in Delhi by the next month, कि मुझे जब है अगले साल अगला जो महीना होगा मुझे कितने साल हो जाएंगे, 10 साल हो जाएंगे, और जो है आने वाले पीरियड में भी शायद मैं दिल्ली में ही रहूँगी, ठीक है. Or like we can say, if we want to make the comparative study, like if we talk about the present perfect continuous tense. प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट कॉन्टिन्यूस टेंस हमने कहाँ यूज किया था? दिस मीन्स आपने कोई एक्शन, यू स्टार्टेड एन एक्शन इन द पास्ट एंड इट इज कॉन्टिन्यूइंग एट प्रेजेंट, और वो अब भी प्रेजेंट में हो रहा है. लाइक she has been living in Delhi, she has been living in Delhi since 2011. She has been living in Delhi since 2011. This means that she resided in Delhi in the period in the past में रह रही थी, and at the time of speaking she is at present she is residing in Delhi itself. तो अब भी वो दिल्ली में ही रह रही है. तो she has been residing in Delhi since 2011. But if I say for past perfect continuous tense that she had been residing in Delhi since 2011, she had been residing in Delhi, this means at the time of speaking she is not residing in Delhi. At a period in the past she was residing in Delhi, but now at present she is residing somewhere else. So she had been residing in Delhi since 2011 means that at present time she is not residing in Delhi. But if I say she will have been residing in Delhi, she will have been residing in Delhi for further 5 years since 2011, for further 5 years. Okay, so means in a period in the future she'll be residing in Delhi. Past में रह रही थी, प्रेजेंट में भी रह रही है, एंड अ पीरियड आने वाले 5 साल में जो है वो और जो है दिल्ली में रहेगी. या इट शी विल हैव बीन कंप्लीटिंग हर 15 years, लाइक वी कैन से शी विल हैव बीन कंप्लीटिंग हर 15 years इन दिल्ली बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस ईयर. जब ये साल खत्म हो जाएगा तो उसे 15 साल हो जाएंगे रहते रहते दिल्ली में. तो देयर वी यूज द फ्यूचर परफेक्ट कॉन्टिन्यूस टेंस. सो आई होप द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द थ्री is been clear to you all. Looking at the structure of the future perfect continuous tense, then you have the subject I. Then because it is future you have shall, shall according to I pronoun. Then because it is perfect, so we are using have, and have is always followed by third form of the word been. And because it is continuous tense also, so for continuous we are using the main verb in its ing form, that is sleeping. And your time period because it is perfect continuous tense tomorrow. ठीक है, as tomorrow is holiday, so at tomorrow morning I shall have been sleeping as tomorrow is holiday. तो कल आने वाले टाइम में मैं क्या कर रहा हूँगा? सो रहा हूँगा. सो एक पीरियड जो आने वाला है उसमें होने वाले एक्शन को लिए हम फ्यूचर परफेक्ट कॉन्टिन्यूस टेंस यूज करते हैं. So here I am sharing this comparative study table of future type tenses with you. The first one is simple future. If we talk about the structure of simple future, you have the subject, then shall will, first form of the verb, and then your object. I shall work means in a period in the future I shall work. You have the subject and shall, and V1 form. Future continuous tense means that will continue, an action that will continue in the future. There we use the future continuous tense. You have the subject, because it is future you'll be using shall will, and shall will always be followed by first form of the verb, so be, and because it has continuous word in it, so you'll be using the ing form of the main verb, and then your object. I shall be working. In a period in the future you will be working. Okay, future perfect. So future perfect, again the structure subject, because it is future you'll be using shall will, and it is perfect so you'll be using have is followed by third form of the verb, so third form of the verb, and then your object. I shall have worked. And future, for future perfect continuous tense, you have the subject, the word future, this means shall and will. The word perfect means have, and have is followed by third form of the word, that is been. To have the word continuous means the main verb will be in its ing form, and then your object plus since since and for, and then your time. So I hope the tense was clear to you. And I'll be giving you a worksheet based on all the types of tenses which you have to solve on your own. Plus what you have to do is that you have to go through all the 3 videos of tenses, that is the present tense, past tense, and future tense, and frame your own sentences, plus write the structures using the key terms to retain the things for a longer period in your life. And um, if you have any doubt, in any of the tenses, then for the same we'll be having a doubt session at the Zoom meet tomorrow at 12 p.m. Do join the Zoom meet and clear all your doubts with me. So let's meet tomorrow at Zoom meet. Till then, tata, bye bye, take care, and stay home, stay safe.